Fromark here once again with another episode of Fromark Talks. And just like the time I said it before that, and the time before that, it's been a little while since I made one of these episodes. And I apologize for that, folks. It's just sometimes I need to cobble enough stuff together to talk about for these episodes. And I think this time around I've got plenty to talk about. And one thing you'll notice right off the bat is the improved sound quality upon past episodes of Fromark Talks, because I bought a new microphone, and I kind of got cornered into getting a new microphone because the one I was using on all my Fromark Plays episodes decided to just crap out one day, so I went ahead and upgraded. But of course, with upgrading my equipment, required getting another thing called a Focusrite interface, and it allows me to be able to hook the microphone up to the computer, which makes it much easier to record stuff. And the microphone I bought's an SM57 Shure, which I'm not trying to do any product plugs here. I'm just saying, I got some decent equipment to work with now. I'm hoping to use some of that decent equipment to finish recording the Honest Lies EP, as there really isn't much left to do at this point. Really, all I got left to do is to just record a couple of vocal tracks. However, I've felt kind of iffy about my voice here lately. It's allergy season, and my throat's just always kind of scratchy anymore, so I'll get around to it eventually when I feel good and ready to get around to it. However, I do still look to have the Honest Lies EP out this fall. There's probably going to be a slight delay in the release, but I'm hoping to maybe still meet the mid-October release timeline that I was setting for myself to put this out and share it with everybody. I did have to go back and do a little bit here and there. I made quite a few adjustments. I removed a lot of filler, trimmed a lot of fat off the EP after letting one of my friends hear some of the demos, and he wasn't too impressed, and it gave me a chance to kind of go back and fix some things here and there and figure out what I need to do to make the experience of listening to the EP a somewhat enjoyable one. But yeah, I understand that I can't please everybody, but I still want to make my EP something that's somewhat enjoyable and something to be proud of. And I'm pretty proud of what I've been able to put together with it so far. It's taken a little bit longer than I've wanted to get it all together, but I think the final product will be worth it. I know it will be to me. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm getting ready for a vacation. It's just a few days away at the time of recording this, and me and my friend Charlie are going to set off to Talladega, Alabama for a couple of NASCAR races and whatever fun adventures we can get into other than that. We kind of did like a smaller scale adventure a couple of days back. At the time of recording this, we decided to go to the Swaco concert together in Huntington, and it was a really good time. It was a struggle at first finding a place to park, but it seems like I always have parking problems when I go to concerts. Like whether it's finding a place to park or whether it's finding where I parked. But yeah, that concert was a pretty good time, and then I also went back to Riverbend, which was a venue in Cincinnati that I'd seen Dead & Company at back in June, so it was kind of nice to go back to this place for the third time, and this time around I seen The Offspring, Sum 41, and Simple Plan, and they all put on a pretty good show. I ran into one of my friends there, and we talked for a moment, and I made a new friend while I was there. So, I really can't complain. And I think I'm done for concerts this year. I've went to 4 this year, and if I'm gonna save back money going into 2024, which I got a little bit saved back, but if I'm gonna make that my main priority, I might want to scale it back just a little bit next year. I'll see what's going on. But I do gotta say, out of the 4 shows that I went to this year, I think the best one overall was the Blink-182 concert I went to back in May. Yeah, I didn't move around as much because I was more of a seated arena venue, and I paid a top dollar to get that ticket, but it was totally worth it, and I'm glad that they're back together with Tom. I'm glad that there's a new album on the way. The 2 new singles that they released this week were really good stuff. So initially my trip to Alabama was going to be the last grand scale adventure I took this year, But I tried to do some skydiving, as I'd mentioned in one of my previous videos that I wanted to do some skydiving this year. I went to the skydiving center nearest me, and they were having some problems getting their plane to start, and it was like super cloudy up high in the sky that day. So I didn't get to jump, and I was a little disappointed, but I got my money back, and I'm gonna go back and try it again because I got some unfinished business there. And it was still worth my time to go, at least, because I went up in an airplane, and it was the first time I'd ever been in a plane. So honestly, that was a little freaky, and I was super nervous, and I still think I would have jumped if I had the option, but I mean, the crew was all like, well, it's too cloudy and too foggy, we can't make a clear spot for you to jump out of. Which is alright, that's alright, I'll just have to try it again. But it was really dope being in an airplane for the first time. I was up, I think they said it was like 5,500 feet. It was terrifying, but it was really dope. And now I know what to expect the next time I go back, so I don't think it'll be as bad when I actually do go to jump. But yeah, my trip to Alabama was supposed to be the last, like, grand scale adventure I went on this year, so since I had to kind of postpone the skydiving thing, I'll just see where everything shakes up financially, and hopefully I can still go skydiving by the end of the year. One neat thing that I went out of my way to do is I found out that there's a place like an hour from me that sells the Sonic the Hedgehog popsicles, and it's the only place that I could find that sells them. Apparently they're an ice cream truck exclusive, and it took me a while to track a truck down that was, well, there aren't any local ice cream trucks around here, so it took me a while to track one down, and I went ahead and stockpiled when I was like, y'all sell those Sonic sickles? And they're actually pretty good. I think every one of the ones I bought were pretty solid. You could tell they were Sonics. They weren't all like melty and screwed up, which was surprising because the hour-long drive back home with them in the car, I was freaking out thinking they were all gonna melt in the car before I could get them home. To the fans of the Fromark Plays show, I do apologize for that gap in recording where there was like a month break. That was mostly just because I was waiting for the microphone and the interface and getting everything set up, and you know, just sometimes upgrading equipment and takes time, and I needed a little hiatus anyway. But now that the hiatus in between microphones is over, I am back to recording gameplay and videos at full force, and there should be a steady stream of content over here on the channel at least through the remainder of the year. But anyways folks, I thought I'd go ahead and dust the cobwebs off, make a quick video, and I hope you're all doing good, staying safe. Hope you'll all check out the rest of my videos. And anyways folks, this is Fromark as always, with the Fromark Talks and the Fromark Plays show. And I will see you all in whatever it is I do next. I will see you then.